Hey guys, Mustang here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to jump in and take a look at the INT Janemba Super EZA versus Goku and Frieza, since we did do the Gogeta one today earlier on stream. I'm going to try him out on the double Glorio leads team, because Janemba does only get the 170 lead from Glorio, but obviously having the double Glorio support means tons and tons of support for the characters on the team. So it can potentially make a massive difference. We don't have the craziest starting rotations here, but we should be okay. I'll go ahead and let Physical Janemba start to get some build up here. But yeah, this seems like a fun team build idea, right? Because we've got both rotations can be a Janemba and a Buhan. And then we have the double Glorios and then Physical Kid Buu floating. So there's just loads and loads of support on the rotation. So I think this could work out quite nicely, especially because we know INT Janemba and Super EZA INT Buhan are a really strong rotation together anyway. They share a lot of links, which means that Janemba doesn't really need to worry too much about Ki, and then of course you can leave the large amount of orbs for Buhan, right? So you can hit that big nuking number. And of course with Tech Buhan we can get the domain up at some point as well. So this should be pretty good. Now, obviously, we talked about Janemba and his capabilities during his initial showcase when I first Super EZA'd him. It is going to be one of those things that he is very much, when it comes to difficult events like this, when we get to Goku and Frieza, right? He very much is going to be a dodge or die character in slot 1, but he has a 90% chance to dodge, so it's not as bad, right, as some of these other dodge or die characters. Like, even with a 70% chance, right? It feels like a lot of the time, if you're really trying to do really difficult like challenge runs or something like that, that 70% just is not enough sometimes to rely on. But 90% obviously is very good. So hopefully we will see him just dodge the super attacks in slot 1 from Goku and Frieza. Because realistically, if he doesn't dodge them, like he is going to die, right? So let's see what we get here. We managed to take this guy, these guys out in one turn. So who's getting locked? Janemba's in slot 1. Actually, to be fair, this is exactly how I wanted the rotation, because we want the Glorio support in slot 3, and then Kid Buu gives us the big bad bosses. So we've got 463 here, start of turn. So we'll go ahead and do this. Grab these, and then grab just anything for Glorio. So it gives everybody the support. So yeah, there's the dodge. Obviously, Janemba wants the dodge before he attacks, so that we can then get that guaranteed additional. So 21 million on this turn. Because it's funny, because having the slightly less leader skill, it's 30% per like leader, but then by having Glorio instead, we're getting all that crazy support from him being in slot 3. So seemingly from the numbers that we're seeing here, from his defense and his attack stats, it's not really a massive difference between just running him on a 200% team. So if we get to a situation where we actually get like imagine we get like a 220 lead for like accelerated battle at some point. So we could have this Janemba on the team under a 220 lead and have the floating Glorio support as well. That would be kind of crazy. Because I mean, this guy, he's not on a lot of categories, but once more teams come out like that lead the teams that he's on, Dragon Ball Seekers, obviously Demonic Power, like he's probably going to end up being a must run. Like if we get a 220 Demonic Power lead, it'll be pretty crazy. I don't think we'll get one soon, because obviously we got Slug and then this guy very soon afterwards being like these big Demonic Power team leaders. But if we get a 220 lead for that team, Glorio would obviously be a go-to unit for the team. So right, so we'll do this. Let's grab this for you. The orbs are a bit not great here, but we have got, it doesn't really matter, no one else is like struggling for Ki or anything, so yeah, we can go ahead and do that. The 4 rainbow orbs, get the damage reduction, get the guaranteed crit chance, so should be looking good. Physical Janemba 30 mil. I mean, this is the thing, right? Physical Janemba is an LR with an EZA, but like I still think it's kind of fair to compare him to like the newest Super EZA, since they are the same name character. And I was saying this in the initial showcase that we did for Janemba yesterday, but I do think there will be some situations where physical Janemba probably is just the better choice for the lead for the team, especially with him having the rage mode, which of course can help you out with the enemy super attack placement. Is also really good for getting around like rotation locking and stuff as well. Here you get the ghost coming hard. 22. This Buhan out here, right, hitting 22 million with 7 orbs with no links active. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, that attack stat's nowhere near what we've seen him hit before, but he's got no links active. So, it's pretty good. Alright, so Janemba, we've got our guaranteed additional. We'll go ahead and grab this. As long as Kid Buu doesn't get super attacked here, we should be fine. So, grab this for you. Obviously, having to get the Buhan floated off to get these guys together. But 18.3 mil for Janemba here. Of course, we get the guaranteed additional because he gets the buff for 4 turns, and he dodged last turn. So, relatively good damage. Obviously, he gets attacks effective against all types. Guaranteed against super class, and then it's a chance against extreme. But we can see he did have the icon down on his little portrait thing at the bottom, so he was effective against all types, hence still being able to do relatively decent damage despite having type disadvantage. Kid Buu getting his damage reduction built up there, that's good. So yeah, we are looking pretty good here. I mean, the next turn for this rotation, when we finally come back to Int Janemba, we're going to have Int Janemba with Buhan, with Kid Buu in slot 3, and the double Glorio support like in play. So it's going to be pretty good. But I mean, this team just is absolutely steamrolling this event. I mean, it's kind of not surprising, right? Like, this event is old now. It's kind of outdated at this point, I guess, even. But still good to see when it comes to like Goku and Frieza specifically. This, you know, what was the toughest boss in the game, and then getting just outclassed by some of these new units. I mean, I'm very much looking forward to, we obviously got the news today that we're getting the 3 new stages for both the red zones. So we're getting 6 new red zone stages. And when they come out, whilst, you know, the later stage might still be more difficult, I'm assuming that one of those is probably going to be the new current hardest fight in the game. So that's going to be really fun for testing out like the new anniversary units and teams, because nothing in the game really can handle the power of like the Vegito team at the moment, right? So Janemba just taking just over 100k, which is obviously very, very good. If you think about when they get their under 50% HP bonus, that means he's still not going to be taking more than like 300k from their super. So physical Janemba, still very, very good. Whereas Int Janemba has to dodge that attack, right? Otherwise he dies, because his start of turn defense, he does get 100% defense when receiving a hit. So his defense will be a million. To be fair, his defense is probably around the same as the physical Janemba when you take into account the 100% that he gets when taking the hit. So actually, considering they both have guard as well, that means the Int Janemba probably does actually tank about the same as the physical one. That's the big thing that a lot of people often forget, and I do sometimes as well, right? Is that 100% when receiving an attack means that the start of turn defense you're seeing for him doesn't really matter all that much. Kind of crazy though, I only just actually realised we didn't do any damage to them on that first turn. So that was good. So Janemba, yeah, see 560. So when he gets hit, he does actually go up to having like 1.2 million defense. So if we grab this for you, and then we can get 12 orbs for Buhan, including 4 rainbows. So he is at 755k here. Obviously gets a huge amount on super as well, so let's do this. Alright, so Janemba, take it away, buddy. What you got for me here? Yep, dodge the super. That's exactly what we want him to do, right? He should tank normals for double digits in this situation anyway, but dodging those normals is all well and good, but dodging the super is what we want, right? Because even if he's going to take 100k, obviously it's better that he takes 0 instead. And we get the triple 25 mil super turn. I mean, that's pretty good. What does Buhan do? I mean, we might actually just one turn. 56 mil. Yeah, okay, bye. Bye-bye. 56.3 million double super turn with the second super guarantee. I mean, good lord. It's so funny, like, using these two together, they do make an awesome combo, because Buhan can't really go in slot 1, but, like, Buhan just absolutely destroying these events. So, yeah, I mean, Goku and Frieza, funnily enough, just don't have enough HP in order to survive that rotation, but Janemba did exactly what we needed him to do, and the funny thing is, by comparing him to physical Janemba, like I say, taking into account that he does actually get the 100% extra defense on Super, the difference between their tanking is actually not very different at all. I can't remember, that's when new best time as well. Did we... Well, actually, we did no damage to them on that first turn. We basically just, like, one-turned every phase, almost. That was ridiculous. So, yeah, very, very good. I mean, Janemba is going to be one of these characters, like, as these new events come out, and with the bosses start to hit harder and harder, it's going to be a bit sketchy for him if he doesn't dodge. His biggest problem, of course, is going to be after he attacks. So after he attacks, he only has a 70% chance to dodge. I think mine is just built for full dodge, mostly dodge, I guess. Yeah, he's got crits. He's effective against all types. So, I mean, I didn't change his build a huge amount from when he first got his EZA originally. I've obviously given him his, like, unique skill orbs. But if I take a look at his hidden potential here, dodge, obviously, you just want him to be dodging everything. The crit isn't hugely important because he's effective against all types. And then getting that additional super does obviously help quite a lot. He's a unit that I think just benefits from, like, every single ability. But, I mean, it's one like this where it's crit or additional. It's kind of down to personal preference. But maybe something like this one would just change to dodge and just give him that little bit more dodge. Because that's really all he needs to do, right, in any of these events on these teams. You put him in slot 1 and ideally he just takes no damage, right? But yeah, definitely worked out quite nicely. We dodged the super, which is exactly what we want. I mean, you'll get those runs occasionally, because 90% is a pretty good chance, but you'll get those runs occasionally where he sells, but it's not going to be more often than when he just clutches up like that and takes no damage. So, I mean, he's still going to be super usable in a lot of these events, right? So, very, very good EZA. I'm still kind of undecided of who I think is better, him or Gogeta, because Gogeta definitely... like, Janemba, when he's fully built up on that turn, right, with Buhan and Kid Buu support, they're doing kind of similar attack stats. Gogeta gets up to more defense and has more, has damage reduction. So technically, Gogeta tanks hits better, but Janemba, a lot of the time, just doesn't take hits. So they are very much actually on equal footing. They're like, if you break down all of those different, like, things, their attack stats are pretty much the same. Taking hits... like, Gogeta's probably slightly better because his raw defense gets to be higher and he has damage reduction. But then to, like, the other side of that coin is Janemba's probably just going to dodge most of the attacks. So the big difference is if a boss supers after the unit in slot 1 attacks and Janemba doesn't dodge, he's going to die. Whereas if a boss supers Gogeta after he attacks, he's not going to die. The flip side being that Janemba goes in slot 1, so if a big hitting boss super attacks in slot 1, Janemba's quite likely to dodge, whereas Gogeta is not going to be able to tank those hits, right? I did this showcase for him against Goku and Frieza earlier, and he took 300k in slot 1 from them, which, I mean, they do a 2.8 million damage super, so that's not that bad, but these guys are just really, really close. I think it comes down to kind of personal preference, whether you prefer that slot 1 tank with the dodge reliance, or you just want the unit in slot 2 that after supering is going to tank super well. So either way, let me know what you guys think. Which do you prefer, Gogeta or Janemba? Let me know your thoughts on comparing them down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.